Hi guys, and happy weekend, and thank you for being here with me. I hope that all of you had a great week or a decent week, and if you even had a bad week, look at you, you've made it, you're coming out of it. So, here you guys already know me on Instagram and Facebook. You know that I accept all vibes. I'm not a person that's good vibes only, positivity only, because it's like no life, real life. We're full of all the vibes, so whatever vibes you have this week, just give yourself a pat in the back because you fucking made it, all right? So today we are talking a little bit about the Astro outlook for next week. We're doing August 3rd to August 9th. Yes, I have to look at the date because I no longer know what date we're in today. What day is it today? We don't know, but here we are, right? So we're gonna be taking a look at the Astro outlook for next week, as well as our normal tarot reading. Now, for hair talk, as you could see, I started letting my hair grow. I shaved it in January. I left it shaved, which was my favorite look, until April 1st. So April 1st was the day that I completely shaved it to the skin and let it grow. So that's April 1st, April, May, June, July, August. So August 1 will be 5 months since I've let my hair grow. 5 or 4, I don't know, I'm not good at math. So this is what we have. And actually this is me patting it down because as you've seen in some pictures, it just poofs up. And I have almost dyed my hair a million times because I can't lie to you. But I have hold strong. So far I haven't dyed my hair. Yay. Right, other than that, there's nothing much happening here except a lot of product to keep it from poofing up. So other than that, let's go ahead and I want to read something to you guys first. I want to read to you the astrological outlook for the week of August 3rd to August 9th. So the week opens up on a high note with an Aquarius full moon on Monday, August 3rd, dramatically lit up by the Leo sun. So every full moon is the highest point of the lunar cycle. The Aquarius full moon signals a once a year time of completions and endings linked to friends, organizations, unions, and societies or clubs. So if something isn't working out for you in any of these areas, this is actually the best time for you to wrap it up and bring things to a happy ending. Not all endings have to be bad. A lot of times, things happen in our life at the perfect moment and then the energy changes. We don't need to hang on to anybody or anything that no longer helps us grow, right? Now, unfortunately, part of this process may involve negative or depressing communications because the only Mercury-Saturn opposition of the year is staring you in the face on the same day. So communications are going to be a little bit iffy. Now, the Aquarius full moon's need for freedom and independence can help you find a way out of this downbeat influence. Mercury will move out of Saturn's range when it passes into Leo on Tuesday, August 4th. This move means that for the next 3 weeks, the style of communication changes from timid and humble to boldly expressing your personal opinion no matter what anyone else thinks. And when I saw this, I was so excited because I'm like, hell yeah, let's speak up, It's time to stop staying quiet for other people's comfort. We're not responsible for the way that people perceive us, right? So on Tuesday, August 4th, a Mars-Jupiter square brings plenty of luck, strength, and courage to get things going as long as you don't totally go wild. On Friday, August 7th, Venus ends its 4-month tour of Gemini and moves into feminine and family-oriented Cancer. Now, with Venus in the sign of the Crab, you may find yourself a little less social and a little more private over the next month. So emotional security is crucial when Venus is in Cancer. So the next 4 weeks are a time to be cautious and protective about relationships, finances, home, and loved ones. If you feel like you start detaching or like you're hiding a little bit, that's perfectly fine. Whatever it is that you're feeling, you definitely want to honor that. Also happening this week, that's not in our astrology outlook, my little girl turns 10. She turns 10 on August 5th on Wednesday, and I probably got like 20 more gray hairs thinking, I am now the mother of a preteen 10-year-old girl, and I could see the changes, and she is a Leo, and it's just, it's wild. So now my son is 8, just turned 8, and now she's 10, and it's like, where's time going? So before we get all vulnerable and nostalgic, let's go ahead and take a look at our layout that we have. So as you can see, we are pulling out our cards today on our fabulous Labradorite plate. Now this slab I've had for years. This is where I charge a lot of the candles in the shop. And labradorite, actually, if you meditate with it for 20 minutes in the morning, it creates a shield of protection around you for the rest of the day. Not only that, but it's a very intuitive crystal, and it's a very strong healer crystal. And take a look at that flash. A lot of you are always like, are you selling that? And no, I'm not. I've had this guy for years. We also have a very extra humongous amethyst root, because I feel like we all need to carry this guy. If I could wear him, I would, for balance and, you know, basically grounding. I took this guy, yes, I'm guilty of taking my own products. I took this guy out of the crystal table, and I'll probably put it back, maybe not. But rose quartz is the energy that we all need right now, being patient with ourselves, giving us the self-love that we need. You know, we have this guy that if you get readings with me, you've seen them in the last 25 years. And this guy is there to enhance any of our messages that we received today, as well as some selenite and smoky. So let's go ahead and get started before I talk your ear off. Yes, I've drank a lot of coffee. And what we want to focus is just energy and open guidance for this week. Once again, August 3rd to August 9th, but it doesn't matter. Whenever you watch this, you were meant to watch it. The deck that we're using today is the Aquarian Tarot. So pretty interesting. We start off the week with the Lovers card. So anytime that the Lovers card comes through, a lot of people tend to think of the Lovers card as just that, just the connection, just a relationship. But when we're seeing the Lovers card, this might be conflict between yourself. There might be a little bit of conflict next week between you and somebody. It may lead you to inner harmony. So this is quite interesting, because what we see here is there might be this frustration, but this particular thing may be you feeling those cosmos that are telling you to speak up, right? We saw how that astrology is there, and basically that cosmic energy may guide for something to happen that it might, what you're trying to say may not be seen. It's almost like this person wants you to agree with them no matter what, but we see you're finally stepping your ground, right? And you're not backing down. So this is actually quite very beautiful. We can be bold but still be respectful, but you're starting to really notice when people are actually manipulating you and confusing that manipulation when it's not working into saying, oh, you're not a good friend. Actually, you are a very loyal person, but your radar for BS is actually getting quite very strong. Now, when we take a look at the next card, we're seeing the energy of the Temperance. So when we see Temperance, usually we see Temperance and it's very all about, you know, having patience. Here in reverse, what we see here is still a little bit of conflicting energy there, right? And what we see here is bringing yourself back to center. This is beyond having patience. When we see the Temperance in reverse, what we need to do is sit down and literally get rid of anything, any burden, anything that we're carrying that does not belong to us. We are in a shift right now. We are in a major change as a collective. And right now, you want to have on the table the things that you want to focus on. Next week, try to not bring anything extra because you're already overwhelmed. So if you're putting extras in there, it's just not going to be good, right? So try to set your priorities straight. Number one, you should be your priority. Number two is the things that matter. Even though you want to help a lot of people, you have to be mature enough to know what you can offer and to know when you need to retreat, right? This is a very big self-care, and it's the kind of self-care that nobody ever talks about. Everybody, when we talk about self-care, we think of pretty baths, pretty oils, you know, and self-care can be actually pretty rough, especially if it involves setting boundaries. But you got to ask yourself, how much of my energy am I willing to give? How much of myself am I willing to make exhausted just so I could help everyone else? What about you? When are you going to take time for you, right? So you could see this one's a little bit like you gotta do this. There's no excuses anymore. Now, the next one that we're seeing is the Page of Cups. So when we see those cups, we know that those cups are all about our emotions. So when we see the Page of Cups is this new energy. The Page is this kind of energy that's new. Think about the Page of Cups like that maiden energy, right? So what we see here is basically a thoughtful time for you. You're gonna be in a position where you're gonna be seeking, and we see these births. You're going to be birthing these new ideas. So there's going to be really good energy. We see abundance energy. We see almost like a clearing in the emotional part of it, which is good. Like you're going to get a break from feeling heavy. But to get here, you got to make some boundaries. You got to create some boundaries. And you also have to understand whatever conflict happens, it's meant to happen, right? Remember what I posted the other day that said shit happens so shift can happen. And this is exactly what I'm seeing for next week. So what we're going to do now is we're pulling out one last card. This is the mystery deck. I use this deck a lot. You guys ask me all the time, what deck is this? I have no idea. I have over 800 decks. I have no idea where this book is or where the box is, but I love it. So as soon as I know what name this is, I'll give it to you guys. Now, yes, look at the main energy for next week. The main energy for next week, we have the sea at the evening hours. And what we see here is taking action, right? So next week is definitely a week that you don't want to procrastinate too much. You may feel a little bit heavy because of that full moon. So we know that we get that full moon hangover, right? But this is like a week that you want to push through that, right? Yeah, we could just stay there and say I'm gonna do this some other time, but I don't know about you guys. Procrastination, when I go deep into it, it's almost like tape, like I get taped to it. And then it becomes a battle of like, I gotta move. Next week, stay in your action, follow your energy, honor that energy, and allow yourself to just pull through. A lot of times it doesn't come easy, like the ebb and flow is not just flowing. Sometimes we have to just force it. So as you can see, there is a lot of growth happening next week. So I know here that everybody will have an amazing week. Now, before I go, let me go ahead and sound like an infomercial, but I know that a lot of you guys always ask me. We are definitely having a sale. We're going to be extending the sale for next week. It is our Lionsgate portal sale. So you want to use code LEO in caps, and you save 30% shop-wide, including workshops. Then you want to use code LION and save 10% in all readings. So I am currently scheduling readings for mid-January, so January 18th and 4th. I know this sucks. I know it's a long week. Trust me, I cringe when I have to email a date, but according to my clients, it will be worth it. So remember that I do have this long waiting list, but I've been doing readings for more than 2 decades, which then makes me feel like, whoa, I mean, I'm old now. But it will be worth it. So I will see you guys next weekend. Lots of love and light. I love you, and blessed be. Bye-bye.